The Shirt Collar by Hans Christian Andersen. There was once a swell gentleman whose entire kit consisted of a boot jack and a comb, though he had the neatest shirt collar you ever saw, and it's about this collar that our story is to be. The collar was now old enough to think of getting married, and it so happened that in the wash he came across a garter. "My word," said the collar, "never have I seen anyone so slender and refined, so delicate and pretty. May I ask your name?" "No, I won't tell you," replied the garter. "Where do you live?" asked the collar. But the garter was very shy and thought it was an odd question to have to answer. "I should think you are a girdle," continued the collar, "a sort of understrap. Yes, I can see you are both useful and ornamental, my dear." "You're not to speak to me," said the garter. "I can't see that I have given you the slightest excuse." "Oh, yes, you have. When anyone's as pretty as you," said the collar, "that's excuse enough." "Don't come so near," said the garter. "You look so very masculine." "Well, I'm no end of a swell," said the collar. "I've got a boot jack and a comb." Which of course wasn't true, for they belonged to his master. He was just showing off. "Don't come so near. I'm not used to it," said the garter. "Little prude," snorted the collar, and was taken out of the wash-tub, starched, hung over a chair in the sun, and then laid along the ironing board, where he was given a hot iron. "Madam," said the collar, "dear widow lady, I'm getting so hot. I shall soon be quite another person. I'm losing all my creases. Oh, you're burning a hole in me. Oh, will you marry me?" "You rag," said the iron, going disdainfully over the collar, for she fancied she was a steam engine meant to draw trucks on the railway. "You rag," she repeated. The collar was a bit frayed at the edges, and so the big scissors came along to trim them. "My," said the collar, "you must be a leader of the ballet. How you can do the splits! I've never seen anything so charming. Nobody can touch you at it." "I know," said the scissors. "You deserve to be a countess," said the collar. "All I have is an elegant master, a boot jack and a comb. If only I had an earldom." "Can the creature be proposing to me?" said the scissors, highly indignant. And she gave him such a violent jag that he had to be thrown away. "I shall have to propose to the comb, that's all," said the collar. "It's remarkable how you still have all your teeth, my dear. Have you never thought of marrying?" "Why, yes," answered the comb. "Surely you've heard that I'm engaged to the boot jack." "Engaged," sighed the collar. Now there was no one left to propose to, and so he came to despise the whole idea. A long time passed, till at length the collar found himself in a bag at the paper mill. There was a large party of rags, the fashionables in one group and the common herd in another, just as it should be. They all had a great deal to say, but nobody so much as the collar. He was a terrible one to brag. "When I think of all the love affairs I've had," he said, "I never got a moment's peace. I was no end of a swell in those days, very stiff and starchy, with a boot jack and a comb that I never used. You should have seen me then, seen me all ready for a party. Never shall I forget my first love. She was a girdle, so refined and delicate and pretty. She threw herself into a wash-tub for my sake. And then there was a widow lady, who was glowing with passion, but I kept her waiting till she turned black. There was the première danseuse from the ballet. She gave me the gash. I've still got it. She wanted to eat me. My own comb was gone on me, and she lost all her teeth from being crossed in love. Yes, I've been through a lot of that sort of thing. But I am sorriest of all for the garter. I beg her pardon, the girdle, who jumped into the wash-tub. I have so much on my conscience. It's high time I changed into white paper." And that's what happened. All the rags were turned into white paper. but the collar became this very bit of white paper we have before us, on which the story has been printed. It was all because he boasted so terribly afterwards of what had never actually occurred, and this is worth bearing in mind, so that we don't behave like that, for, after all, we never can be quite certain that we too mayn't find ourselves one day in the rag bag and be turned into white paper, and have the whole story of our life printed on us, even the most private happenings, so that we ourselves have to run around blabbing it out like the collar.